Anxiety, the feeling of impending doom or danger leading up to a specific event in life, whether big or small, test or job interview. It happens to the best of us. It's natural. In fact, it's actually beneficial. It acts as an anchor to our fight or flight system, the body's protective barrier to danger. Without it, who knows where humans would be? Imagine crossing the street and suddenly a car comes out of nowhere. You have to act immediately, maybe a bit irrationally. Your body shoots the neurotransmitter epinephrine, known as adrenaline, throughout your body, and you get a burst of energy, so to speak, and move at a dangerous rate. The same thing happens if someone is trapped by a rock and they have to push it off. Sometimes the fight or flight mechanism within the body is enabled without any clear apparent reason, leading to uncued or unexpected panic attacks. There's no danger present except your body perceives something as a danger. This is when anxiety becomes less of a normal everyday occurrence and more of an anxiety disorder. The adrenaline released in your body during the fight or flight stage just rests idly inside of it. There's no escape, there's no release, there's nothing to do except have a panic attack, not that you have the option. But what's really happening? Anxiety is regulated partly and primarily by the little almond-shaped structure within our brains, the amygdala. It initiates emotional responses to different situations using neurotransmitters such as GABA, serotonin, adrenaline, and cortisol. Usually the structure is much larger in people without anxiety disorders, smaller in those with them. The amygdala has two major parts, the basolateral amygdala complex, BLA, and the central media amygdala complex, CEA. These two work together, the BLA receiving incoming information on emotional signals from the thalamus and sensory association cortex, then activating the CEA via excitatory glutamatergic pathways. This activates a relay of inhibitory GABAergic interneurons, which inhibits GABA from reducing anxiety, leading to a somatic manifestation of it. 13% of Americans suffer from a diagnosed anxiety disorder. Who knows how many are undiagnosed? There's so much research going into these disorders, not only in America, but across the world, because researchers want to find the links between these disorders and the brain. Some studies have found anxiety is linked to frontal lobe dysfunction, while others found gray matter changes cause anxiety. Who knows which one's correct over the other? If even there's a way to know definitely. What is known is that amygdala communicates less with the cortexes of the brain, primarily the prefrontal cortex, occipital cortex, and the temporal cortex. All of them are important in the brain. We know how anxiety impacts the limbic system with the cortexes of the brain and the amygdala. We know how we see it physically, trembling, shaking, shortness of breath, rapid breathing, holding your breath, things like that. We know on a cellular level that it's a bit harder to see how anxiety is impacting you. The mitochondrion releases cellular DNA when exposed to high levels of anxiety into your bloodstream, which then increases the sugar in your body, leading to higher risks of type 2 diabetes and hypertension. It also skews the white to gray matter ratio of your brain, as well as altering your genetic code, which then you pass down to future generations. Quite an interesting ordeal that's entirely dependent on the person.